So I've been testing Razer's Viper Ultimate V2 Pro for about a week now, and first impressions are good. The mouse is coming in at 58 grams, and that weight is distributed really well. It feels very balanced, similar to how the weight distribution is on the G Pro Superlight. It's also featuring Razer's new Focus Pro 30K optical sensor. I'm not sure what Razer's doing over there, but this sensor felt super responsive. Obviously, any mouse over $100, over $80 is gonna be a great sensor. Maybe placebo, but the movement on the mouse felt super instant from the smallest to the longest adjustment. The V2 Pro is also featuring Razer's Gen 3 optical switches, which feel decent. They do tend to lean a little on the hollow side for my liking. The clicks almost sound like they're echoing, which is kind of hard to explain, so let's go ahead and drop that smooth sound test. I personally would have preferred some Cal 8.0s here, but the switches are not too bad, and ultimately it's more of just a preference. As far as durability, there's no creaking on the mouse, no wobbling on mouse 1 and 2, and pre and post travel is very minimal, almost non-existent. With the exception of mouse 5, it does seem that Razer did something a little different between mouse 4 and 5, as they don't have the same feeling, so I would keep that in mind. The Razer Ultimate V2 Pro will also fit really any grip style, and hand size, palm grip, claw grip, and fingertip are all viable here. Now, the back hump is more on the flush side, so if you prefer to have more of a protruding hump like the G Pro Superlight, this may take a bit of adjusting, or ultimately it could be a skip on the mouse. The scroll wheel steps feel a bit more defined this time around compared to the previous Viper Ultimate and the Viper Mini, but overall it's a very similar feel. Now, the V2 does also have more of a grainy coating on the mouse, which I'm personally a fan of, as it kind of allows for a better grip and less slipping when your hands are sweaty, but it is something to keep in mind because I know some people do prefer more of that smooth coating, and the grainy coating could bother you a little bit. The pre-installed skates on the mouse feel really good, and unless you're wanting some glass skates, I really couldn't see any reason why you would switch to aftermarket skates in this situation. The mouse does not have RGB this time around, and there is no dock, as this was removed to help reduce that weight, but the mouse does finally feature good old USB-C, so that's definitely a big win. As for in-game performance, the mouse felt great. Due to that great weight distribution and the new low weight of 58 grams, tracking on this mouse in Apex has felt super consistent, and I didn't find myself needing to readjust mid-track. Flicks feel snappy, and making those micro adjustments on a dime feel effortless in Valorant. Even with the low weight, Razer did such a great job in making this mouse not feel too small in hand. So if you're a more large hand user who does not normally prefer lighter and small mice, this will still feel really good in hand for you whilst gaming. The only con I have to say about the Razer Ultimate V2 Pro is the price point. $150 is definitely up there, and I don't know if there's quite enough upside to pay this amount versus getting the previous gen Viper Ultimate at roughly $80 on sites like Amazon and Best Buy, and sometimes even less than that. With that being said, if you're the type of person that buys a Superlight or a Final mouse, then dropping $150 on a mouse is probably not a problem for you, and it's totally worth it on the V2 Pro. But if you already own the first gen Viper Ultimate and are looking to upgrade, or if you're just debating between the two mice, I would strongly consider going with the Viper Ultimate at half the cost, even with that extra 16 grams in weight. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this review on the Razer Viper Ultimate V2 Pro. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Have a good one guys. Peace.